Hello, hello. It is Soul Sunday with Ruby and Allison. I really need to get me some theme music one day or something. But until then, hey everybody. So, while I'm waiting for Allison to come on, I just want to say that if you happen to watch this on the replay, we really appreciate you watching the replay. Just comment below where you're from and replay so that we can go back and thank you for watching personally. But of course, I'm Ruby D, and thank you for watching. I'm waiting for Allison to come on. I know I sent her the invite, so we're just waiting for her. But while we're waiting for Allison, this is Soul Sunday, and on Sundays, Allison and I, we talk about topics that may not be the most popular, but they are topics that are important that we should discuss. Now, for this week, for today, we will be discussing your energy, protecting your energy, how to recharge, how to keep from absorbing other people's energy so that you're always in a good place, in a happy place, no matter where anybody else is. So thank you all for watching. Hey Don, hey Ra. If there's anything that we say during this particular live video, please, or if there's anything that we say that you resonate with or you find beneficial, please comment. If you have a question, feel free to ask any question. We are always excited to engage. Hey, I knew you was gonna be on here. What's up? Do you believe in the transfer of negative energy? Yes, I do, but there is a way to protect yourself against that, and we will be discussing that sometime today as we're going on. But hey Tyrus, I'm waiting for Allison. She's probably getting set up, but I'm sure she's gonna be joining us soon. But while we're waiting for Allison still, my name is Ruby D of Ruby D Artistry, and I'm the Goddess Entrepreneur. I'm author of The Goddess Grind. We grind with one eye open. And I actually just finished the second book in the Goddess Grind series, which is We Grind According to Law. And that will be available, I'm thinking of releasing it March of this year. I might do February. I don't know yet, but I'll let y'all know. Hey Danny. And I am, in addition to being an author, I'm also a speaker. I'm the soul speaker. I speak to your soul. I like to talk about things that make you think. It doesn't necessarily have to change your thinking, but it's just a way for you to understand that there are people that think differently than you, and that's completely fine. Just because I think differently than you does not make me crazy, and it does not make me wrong. But yeah, so it's 2:03. I'm waiting for Allison. I'm sure she'll be coming on soon because we do this every Sunday, so I'm sure she's coming. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get started because we really only got about an hour to do this today, and we touch on so much within an hour, and there's so many ways to expand these. Girl, Facebook be tripping with the invites, Allison. I don't know, but I'm about to send you one now. Facebook, it just be tripping. I don't know what it is, but while I'm waiting, Alice, thank you all
Hi.
for tuning in. She is.
As
In the
soon
car.
as soon as I
Probably
sent that
somewhere.
message. Yeah, I'm doing double duty. My son wanted to see a movie, and the best time that we found to work with our schedule was at 2:00. So I have bought the ticket, and we are staring at the movie theater so that we can run in as soon as we finish.
Oh, okay. Yes. Oh, okay. Well, we're going to get started right on time. So I did give an introduction of who I was and what I do. So I'm going to let Allison go ahead and do her thing.
Peace and blessings, everybody. This is Allison with Be Still and Move. The organization has been designed to help you heal, grow, and live beyond that relationship status by becoming better, not bitter, and enjoying your life along the journey. I'm a transformational coach. I'm a speaker. I'm a writer. I'm a blogger. And more importantly, today, I am the other half of Soul Sunday with Ruby and Allison, and I am looking so forward to today's topic. So we can go ahead and get moving.
We sure can, because we do not want you missing the movie. So, I've already given the heads up that our topic today is going to be about protecting our energy, recharging, and just being able to separate our energy from others and not absorbing negative energy from other people.
Yes.
So, of course, with every episode that we do, we start off with a definition. So, the definition of energy in Google, I typed, "What is energy?" And the first definition that I got was the strength and vitality required for sustained physical or mental activity. And of course, the definition that we learned in elementary school, the ability to do work.
Right.
But from the first definition, the strength and vitality required for sustained physical or mental activity. So that definition, I just want to break down a little bit. It says the strength and vitality. So because it says strength and vitality, of course, it's not a weakness, first of all.
That's right.
So we have to understand that energy for us is something that it's pretty much supposed to build us up. We should protect it. We should make sure that we are always filled to our optimum level.
Mm-hmm.
Or either we're able to identify when we're not full of energy and we're able to replenish it. It says it is required. It's not, it didn't say needed, it didn't say optional, it didn't say a want. No, it is a requirement for sustained physical or mental activity.
Yes.
Without any energy, you can't do anything. You can't think straight. You can't work properly. So we want to make sure that we're always filled with positive energy, so we're able to do those things that we want to do, whether it be physical, mental, emotional, whatever it is. We always want to make sure that we're doing it positively,
Mm-hmm.
and that we're energized, and that we have to protect it, because of course, when we all possess energy, and for those that don't possess as much as the next or as positive as the next, then they will come after you to
Yes.
take yours.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind.
Yes.
Now, of course, energy, like I said, can be either good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have to remember that with energy, it's not one in itself. So when I say that, that means energy isn't conscious of whether it's good or bad. It's just there.
Right.
And it depends on the host or the person to determine whether it's good or whether it's bad. So you kind of have to understand how energy works in order to be able to differentiate yours from somebody else's.
Yeah.
So you can always walk into a room. It's gonna be energy there, but you'll be able to feel whether or not it's good or bad energy. But just make sure you're aware of what your energy is at all times. Allison, I'm gonna go ahead and let you chime in with any thoughts that you're having right now.
You know, the biggest one for me was when you talked about the fact that you can't do anything without the right amount of energy. And the very first thing I thought about were people who are battling illnesses. And one of the first things that they talk about is just how tired they are. And it's not just from, you know, the emotional part of the fight, but it is the physical part of the fight. They don't have any energy. They don't have the energy. And so I think the parallel with that is just, you know, letting people know that you don't really, if you're not aware of it, if you don't respect that it's there, I think one of the biggest issues is not knowing when it's leaving you. And if you don't know when your energy is leaving you, then you end up in other situations. You end up with sadness, you end up with stress, you end up with depression, you end up with all of these things happening. All you want to do is sleep, you don't know why. All you want to do is other things that you know aren't great for you, but it's a sign that your energy is either off balance or just completely low. And so it's
Right.
really important. That's why I was so excited about today's topic. Sometimes people don't know what energy is. And I did hear you briefly talking about your introduction, and you mentioned, just because I think differently than you does not mean I'm wrong or crazy. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the one of the reasons that I thought that was so important is that the things that you talk about, the things that I talk about, energy, there are people who sometimes think, well, if I talk about energy and I say that I'm a Christian or a Muslim or whatever, then I'm not really following my faith. No, this is just related to physical well-being. This doesn't indicate at all that you are
Right.
somehow walking away from anything. It's letting you know how to actually be more mindful of
Right.
what that energy is, so that you know what discernment is in the Christian community, so that you know what intuition is, so that you know what feels right to you and what doesn't feel right to you. And so
Exactly.
it's just very important that you made that proclamation, because I want people to know you can listen to messages like this. We're not demons in disguise. We're not walking around trying to, hit your inbox and have you join some kind of seance or what. We're not doing that. We sincerely just want people to learn how to live their best life. But we're very
Right.
focused on you learning how to do it from within, so that you know what to get out.
Exactly.
That's all this is about. So I was just really glad to hear you say that. I was sitting over here like, yes, yes, you're right, you're right.
But it's funny that you say that, because I get people that ask me when I'm talking about chakras and stuff like that. They're like, "Well, I'm in this religion or I'm in that religion." I'm like, "It doesn't matter.
Mm-mm,
It doesn't matter.
mm-mm.
It's This has nothing to do with anything outside of you.
Right.
So that's all you, boo. We
Yes.
want you to learn as much as you can
Yes.
about yourself, because, of course, this is something that we don't learn, or this is something that's not talked about when we're younger, when we're
Mm-hmm.
growing up.
Yep.
Now that we're older and we're hearing this, it's just like, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. That's not what I'm used to. That's not what I know. And maybe because it's something that I'm not familiar with, I shouldn't pay attention to it. And that's not the case at all.
At all.
Um, Also, when um, yeah, and I know I'm gonna have to come back to this, but a thought came to mind when you were talking about people that suffer from illnesses such as depression and stuff like that, and how their energy levels are low. But I'm gonna think of what it was, and then I'm gonna remember it, and then I'll touch on it. But that's what triggered the thought. So just in case we come back.
Okay.
But thank you all for watching. We appreciate you tuning in, because it is Sunday afternoon and you could be doing something else with your time, but
Yes.
with us, and we are so grateful.
Yes.
So please be sure to share, engage. Hey Theo, hey
What's,
Jelani, hey Tyrus, Tate, we know you there. Hey Juanita.
what's up, Miss
So
Cassandra? And what's up, Melissa?
now another thing, well, another point that I have here on my little paper, in my little notes, I take notes for every show just to make sure we stay on track, is in order to learn about your energy, you have to spend time with yourself. The reason that you have to spend a lot of time with yourself is so that your energy becomes familiar to you. If you're always around people, you're always dealing with people, then you don't have any way of telling the difference between what your energy feels like and what somebody else's energy feel like. And because we can't make that differentiation, then we have a tendency to get caught up in other people's feelings and emotions and their energy. And then later on that day, we're at home in a bad mood and we don't understand why. That's because you've been out here mixing and commingling with all of these energies, and you haven't spent enough time with yourself in order to understand what your energy feels like, what it feels like when it's dropping, what it feels like when it's increasing,
Mm-hmm.
or what it feels like when it's off,
Mm-hmm.
or what it feels like when you're balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Spend time with yourself. We're not telling you to spend time with yourself to be antisocial or
Right.
anything like that. No, spend time with yourself
Mm-hmm.
to become your own companion,
Yes.
as well as educate yourself on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also, um, oh, well, those 2 points went together, but that was Tyra says so true. Hey, Robin, how you doing? So true, and don't be consumed. Don't be so consumed in other people's energy. Be consumed with yours, but not theirs. Come on, Allison. I know you got some input for it.
I do. So the biggest thing that I want to pull out of what Ruby said is the part about being antisocial. I also want to talk about the other side of that, which is being afraid of being by yourself, being afraid of spending time alone. Um, there are some people, you may know them, you may be them, and not necessarily want to admit it on this open platform, which is fine. But there are some people who don't want to be by themselves. And I don't mean in the terms of a relationship, it goes deeper than that. They don't want to
Mm-hmm.
go out by themselves, they don't want to go shopping by themselves, they don't want to do anything by themselves, especially in a public platform. And what I want to emphasize is the only way to really get to know you and to really get comfortable with you and to know what your energy feels like is to break through that fear of aloneness and understand that you spending time by yourself does not mean that you are lonely. It means that you are learning you and that you are figuring out
Right.
what you like, what you don't like. And the reason that that's so important is because when you walk into a place, even if you are with a companion, if you walk into a place and the energy is dark, you will immediately sense that it's not necessarily a place that you want to be. And even if you can't leave that environment, you know to have your guards up. You know to pay attention to
Right.
what's around you. You know what to listen to, what not to. You know what to push away. And it's really important that you do that because, like Ruby said, I remember a situation, it's been several years ago, but there was a situation where I was in a great mood. I came home and all of a sudden my words were different, my tone was different, my attitude was different, but nothing in my day had changed. What had changed is I had crossed paths with someone who was having a really crappy day, and I
Mm-hmm.
picked up their energy. They had a crappy day. I was feeling fine, but it seemed like the rest of the day I felt bad and I didn't know why. And so now that I'm more aware of what my energy is, if I do run across those people, I don't run in the other direction, but I am able to go ahead and put up that block and say, okay, I will talk to them, but what they're dealing with is not going to get into me. And so it's
Right.
really important that you spend that time alone. Start with 10 minutes. Start with meditation. Whatever it is that you need to do to start feeling more comfortable with you, it's just really important that you spend that time with yourself so you know what you feel like is you versus how you feel when you're around other people. That's really important.
Yes. And as she was talking, another thing came to mind. Now, a lot of us have more than one personality. And of course, spending time with yourself, you're gonna get to know those personalities.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sitting here saying you got a disorder or anything like that. It's just that us talking to ourselves is normal. It should be normal. Of course, we like to talk about people or laugh at them when we see them talking to themselves or whatever. We've been talking to ourselves since the day we were born. I mean, that's intuition, that's our gut instinct, that's our sixth sense. And if we pay more attention to who we are, we would probably talk ourselves out of a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes when people have quite a few different personalities, they don't want to really become comfortable with that, or they don't want to share that with other people, or you feel it's a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. Now, I'm not saying be out here in public as an adult saying your alter ego Tiffany told you to do this, or Keisha told you to do that, or Pookie told you to do. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Mm-mm.
So don't get it confused with that. What I'm saying is your intuition, your voice. That's something that tells you don't do that. That's something that tells you you feel great about this. I mean, that's what I'm saying, that part. So it's
Yes.
okay to spend time with yourself and
Yes.
get to know yourself. And if you hear a few extra voices and whatever, it's okay. Just
It
don't
really
harm
is.
yourself and don't harm other people.
Yes.
Now, I do want to offer or also go over a couple of reasons on how to protect your energy and how to balance your energies. Now, of course, because I'm all into the chakras, that's going to be the first thing on the list. Balance your chakras. When you're able to balance your chakras, you have an overwhelming understanding of your energy and how your energy works, and you're in touch with yourself. You're able to feel, you're able to control a lot of your emotions and your feelings.
Yes.
And when you're able to control yourself in those situations or in other situations, then you're able to separate yourself from what somebody else got going on. Just because you walking down the street and you make eye contact, smile and say hi, and the person that you speak to, they just grunt and give you this look and keep going, that's not you. Keep going. That's not you. You did what you were supposed to do. You were cool. You were nice.
That's
Let them
right.
have that bad day by themselves. Do
Hmm.
not absorb that. And that's one way that you know you're absorbing other folks' energy. If you're talking to them and they get an attitude and then you immediately start getting an attitude, you're absorbing what they're putting out. Don't do that.
Mm-mm.
Stay positive. Just like I said, always be positive about your attitude and what it is that you're doing. Let them be negative. Let them, like I said, energy is not conscious of whether it's good or bad. It depends on the person or the thing that it's within.
Hmm.
That's why, we can change our moods on words and stuff like that. Always feed yourself positive words, positive ideas, and positive things so your energy is always positive and it's good. And then one more I'm going to touch on, even though I have more on this list, I don't want to, talk too much because I know Allison has stuff that she wants to say all the time. And that the next, well, the third point is don't allow others to affect you. Don't let their attitude affect you. Don't let their words affect you. Don't let them get under your skin. And that goes back to balancing your chakras. Like for instance, hey Queenie, hey Mr. Edwards, thank you all for watching. Robin says she talks to herself all the time. Girl, I be needing that expert advice. But don't allow others to affect you. Make sure that your solar plexus chakra is balanced. Make sure that you have self confidence, self esteem, and stuff like that. Willpower. People can't get under your skin. You don't allow them to control your emotions. It's just simple as that. So, Allison, what you got?
I'm just gonna piggyback on the three topics that you brought up, or the three ways that you brought up. Well, two. I'm still learning about chakras, so I'm just gonna say what Ruby said about chakras is right. But the other two, here's the thing. And I want to make sure people understand this because I actually had to very gently correct someone who kind of hit my inbox because they had been looking at some of Ruby's posts concerning allowing people to, make you upset. And so they were getting, what they were getting is not even close to what she was saying. And so I want people to understand that when we talk about not letting people get into your skin, when we talk about being positive, we're not saying to be fake and we're not saying to not be realistic. That's not what we're saying.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is that we are human beings. The reality is that things are going to happen that do hurt you or affect you or whatever. What we are saying is it doesn't don't allow it to take you down. When something hurts you, it's a detour. When someone upsets you, it's a detour. You have to decide if you're going to let it be a pit stop or a new road. What we're saying is don't let it become
Mhm.
a new road. If it hurts you, feel the sting of it, but then figure out through continuing to be positive, how do I get beyond this thing? And I'll give an example of Melissa. Melissa actually gave one example about how to learn to be positive and how to balance things. You do have to disconnect sometimes. Now, Melissa brought up social media. That's a really big one. A lot of times
Mhm.
we hide behind social media. When we're sad, we grab our phones. And when we're frustrated, we want to tell people about it because we want that instant hug over the internet and that instant pat on the back or whatever. But the thing is, most of us, and I'll just be honest, most of us have people on our friends list that we don't know intimately. And so it's very easy to get someone to say, you can do it, you can do this, you can do that. But when you put all of your energy in receiving that from other people, well, what if everybody on your friends list is having a bad day? What if you're trying to be positive, but everything on your timeline is negative? That's not going to work out for you. Sometimes you do need to
Mhm.
disconnect. Sometimes you do need to just enjoy your own thoughts and your own voices. As Ruby said, it doesn't make you crazy. My alter ego was Lisa. Now, I don't let Lisa come out often, but there's times Lisa has to come out and balance my chakras because I'm being too nice about a certain situation. And so sometimes Lisa has to come out and just say, okay, you getting run over. So sit down. I'm going to
Right.
handle it. Now we can get back on track. And so
Exactly.
when we're talking about the positive part and the idea of not allowing people to get in your energy, what we're saying is don't let them control you. Don't let them get to the point where something that they've done changes your outlook on you, on people, changes your energy, and your energy can be changed. The only thing that can't happen to energy is it being destroyed. But if you allow yourself to be polluted long enough, your energy can change, and that will take you off your path. It will.
Right.
It's just going to happen. So, positive means take a moment. If I happen to be having a bad day or things aren't going well or I'm having a down moment, what I've learned is to stop, take a breath, and find 5 immediate things, no matter how small they seem to be at the time. I find 5 things that I'm thankful for.
Mhm.
I just get very quiet and I say, okay, I have a car. I'm thankful that I have a car. I'm thankful that I'm able to pay for it. I'm thankful for the home I get to go to. I'm thankful for the son that's healthy and loves me. I bring myself back down because
Right.
you can go through some things that allow you to get so dramatic you feel like nothing in life is going right. Find 5 things and take a minute. That is what we're talking about with being positive. Being positive means this thing is negative, but what can I do right now to take the power away that it's about to pull from me because it's something
Mhm.
that I didn't want to experience. And so the
Right.
same thing with allowing other people. If you see somebody's having a crappy day, ask them. That's one of the things that I've done, and I'll stop here. One of the things that I've done when I'm around people who are cranky, I put it back on them. I don't say, well, is it? I used to say, well, did I do something? I'm like, screw that. What's wrong with you? What's the problem? I don't do that no more because, when you're a recovering codependent, you're going to think that everything is your fault because you want to try to fix it. I can't fix people. And so
Mhm.
when I notice that people are having a bad day, I just say, okay, what's up? What's the problem? Because this is not you. But I'm also
Right.
telling my mind, this is also not about you. Don't internalize. Don't do it. Find out what's happening. So that's all I got.
Right. And of course, as she was talking, what came to my mind was um when she was explaining about what we mean. Now, you have to understand that with all of this energy, you could be in a room completely by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
not even around people, and you can still feel other people's energy.
Yep.
Just like if you're scrolling on social media scrolling. If you come across a post and somebody says something negative or something like that, you can feel their energy through the phone. You can feel energy through a text message. You can feel energy. Just energy is not conscious of space and time.
Yes.
Keep that in mind. So, and this is kind of sort of off topic. So, if anything from 10 years ago is affecting you, it affected you because there's some level of energy that's attached to it. Whether it happened 10 years ago or 10 minutes ago, it's still going to affect you because energy doesn't care how long ago, it doesn't care how far, it's still going to affect you. So you just have to always be able to make sure that you know yours and you control yours and you're aware of what's going on with your energy. And that brings me to my next point. Oh, we lost Allison. I'm gonna have to send her an invite. Let me add her back. But while I'm waiting for her to come back, like I said,
I'm back.
to our next point.
I got kicked off. I'm sorry.
You're welcome, honey. Being aware. And when I say be aware, just be aware of where you are. When you get up in the morning, be aware of what your energy level is. Because sometimes we wake up in a bad mood. If you wake up in a bad mood, you need to handle it right then and there. Yes. Whether it be meditation, whether it be through closing your eyes and get another 5-10 minutes of sleep, you need to do that again. But be aware of what's going on with you at all times, and be aware of your emotions, be aware of your feelings, be aware of what happened. It's been plenty of times we go to bed cool, we have a bad dream, and then we wake up in a bad mood. No. Learn to Tate says, I just think it could be worse. That keeps me level. Well, if that's all you need, then that's all you need. But just always be aware of where you are emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. And if you know where you are, then you know where you don't want it to. And then next comes discernment. You just got to know who to be around and who not to be around. Sometimes you don't know, but just make sure that you're always in a good space. Because as long as you're always in a good space, then you're receptive to what's going on around you. And what I mean by that is when you're receptive, you will start seeing little red flags, or little hints that's telling you something about a person that you're unsure of. You just got to make sure that you're open to receiving that information and that you're paying attention so you know what to do or you know how to move. Now, that's all that I have on that particular list. And trust me, this is not all by far. This is not all. This is just some things that I came up with. Y'all, the topic of energy and chakras, it's a lot of information. It's a lot that we could talk about, and it's just so much that we can touch on. But we just do not have enough time, so we just gonna move on to the next thing. And if y'all got questions, just ask. If you feel like anything that we've said is beneficial or is good for somebody, share the video. Please share the video. If this information is helping you, trust me, it'll help somebody else.
Yes, it will.
Share it. Give us some hearts. Give us some likes. Hey, Queenie. Thank you, Robin. Thank you. Now, how to cleanse and recharge. Now, I get this question often enough, especially with me. I get it a lot as far as how do I balance my chakras and stuff like that. The first thing with charging and cleansing your energy, or making sure that it's positive, or you attempting to always make sure that it's positive, is I participate in grounding and earthing. Of course, I do this when it's warmer, but basically grounding / earthing is, the terms are interchangeable, but it's basically going outside barefoot in the grass, sand, not on the concrete, not in the driveway. Your feet, your bare feet, have to be touching earth. And basically earth is our energy source. So when you connect to the energy source, you're recharging yourself. I like to do this a lot when I'm sick. I like to do this a lot if I'm in a funky mood. I like to, just because y'all know y'all like having this, going to the beach and feeling the sand in between your toes, and being outside, especially when it's a nice grass, when it's a nice manicured lawn and they don't have any any the little sticky things and stuff like that in the grass where you could just walk around and just sit there and the grass
Yeah.
just be soft and you just want to lay in it.
Mm-hmm.
But Tay, I'm gonna need you to put you
Oh, Lord.
more teeth or something and go from there. But grounding and earthing, it basically connects you back to the energy source
Mm-hmm.
and you let it replenish you. I say stay there at least 15 minutes. I love the way the sun feels on my skin. This is why I love warmer temperatures because I love the way the sun feels on my skin. I just like being outside. I'm not saying go deep off in the woods somewhere. No. You can find you a little patch of grass that has not been disturbed by some concrete or something like that. Um, Go find a tree. If you can find a tree, you can find some dirt, you can find some grass or something like that.
That's right.
Um, but that's one way to recharge. And I made a post earlier where we really don't think about it in this sense, but every day when we get up, Tyra's correct. Nature is pure. Is for the most part undisturbed. But when we get up in the morning, and the first thing we do before, well, not gonna say the first thing we do, but one of the things that we do before we leave the house is we put on shoes, and we're
Mm-hmm.
always walking around with shoes on. And of course, I'm not saying walk around barefoot and go walk in a pile of glass or something like that. No, that's not what I'm saying. But all day, every day, we're always wearing shoes for the most part because we're inside. We never really get the opportunity to walk around barefoot and
Mm-hmm.
connect.
Yeah.
That will recharge you. Tate, Tate, Allison, I'm not for to start with him today. I'm not. um, Another way to protect your energy or cleanse your energy is while you're meditating, imagine a white light around you. This white light is you're imagining it's a protection barrier. It keeps out everything that's negative. It keeps out everything that's bad. It keeps out everything that you don't want to absorb. So you have to always be protective of yourself. So when you get ready to meditate or as you're meditating, just imagine this white aura around you. And when you're talking to other people, imagine this aura around you and subconsciously just say, I'm positive, this is my energy, I'm not attracting this energy, I'm not absorbing it. And then of course, the third one or the third way to cleanse and recharge is through meditation. When you meditate, imagine the white light. Imagine yourself as being a vessel or a vase or a cup, and just imagine from your feet all the way to the top of your head that you're just filling yourself up with energy. Focus on that and meditate on that. And as you're meditating, if you happen to absorb energy from somebody else, just imagine yourself releasing that. It's a lot of with recharging and protecting your energy and everything. It has a lot to do with intention. If the intention is to let go of negative energy, then that's what will happen. But you just have to be meaningful in your intention and you have to really want to let it go. You can't say, you know what, I can't handle this, but you're still dealing with it. You're not really trying to let that go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go ahead and let Allison chime in because I could talk about this forever.
And I could listen
Forever.
to you. You are so knowledgeable about this. The very first thing that comes to mind, just to add, because what Ruby has already said is so helpful. The other thing for me is to be aware of your feelings and to cry.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I mean by that is this. I have a relative. I won't continue to talk about which relative it was because she's not here to, defend herself. But I had a relative very close to me who passed away from cancer almost 4 years ago. And the part that bothered me, now we aren't completely sure because her dad disappeared and didn't come back. He was almost on his deathbed, so we don't know much about his side. But cancer is not something that is genetically in our family. And so I did research. At this point, I was spending more time looking up the spiritual root of diseases, because there is a spiritual root to things that we go through. And I saw that cancer can have a spiritual root of bitterness. Now, when most people think of bitterness, they think of women who are out here saying that all men are this and all men are that. But bitterness can be that thing that never really happened for you, but you were constantly reminded that it was possible because you saw other people have it. You may have wanted to have 5 or 6 children, and you kept having miscarriages, and it seemed like every time you went to the store, you saw strollers and all this other stuff. Years and years of that without an explanation for why it hasn't happened or why it didn't happen for you. You don't even know that you're bitter. You've just gotten to a point where you think you have stopped thinking about it, but every time you see that thing that you don't have and you feel something, that's letting you know that you're not over it. And this particular family member had a really, really, really rough life. She had a lot of things happen that a lot of people weren't going to forgive if it were them. And she was constantly being pushed to forgive and being told that it was the right thing to forgive. But she just had a lot from childhood on of things that bothered her. And while I believe she may have cried a bit, I don't necessarily know that she allowed herself to have one good cry, one good yell, one good scream. There is a reason that that our bodies do the things that they do. Water is cleansing. Now, we can see that when we're in the pool. We can think about it when we're at the beach, but your tears are cleansing. If there's something that hurts you, if there's something that brings you to the point of tears and your ego tells you to suck it up, that's that thing that's going to end up getting you. Not in terms of an illness, but in terms of not allowing your energy to completely flow through your body so that you can see the good and the bad and the yin and the yang to life. And so if there's something that brings you to tears, maybe you're driving 70 miles an hour on the highway. I don't suggest that you break down right there, but if it is bringing you to tears, that's a sign that there's something that you need to cleanse yourself from. And anytime you have a block with anything, you're going to run into a situation where you're not getting the full advantage of it. So in addition to meditation, in addition to everything that Ruby brought up, bare bones, I'm also about feelings, because I've come from an environment where feelings were not acknowledged, and I see what the result of that can be. And so if you need to cry, cry. If you need to yell, yell. You need to throw stuff, because all of that is releasing old energy, negative energy, angry energy, frustrating energy, and it's bringing you back to a place of balance. So that's all I wanted to add.
Right. I made a comment before the year's out. I always make sure to get me at least one good ugly cry in. At least one good ugly, like snotty, slobbing, ugly cry in.
Yes.
And then I'll be like, okay, no, get it out. Get it out.
Yes.
I don't care if you gotta go in the shower, turn the shower on, and do that silent cry.
Yes.
Get it out. Just
Get
make
it
sure
out.
you're ugly when you do it. But Tate says, but can we truly say that we are 100% over anything that affected us emotionally in the past? Nope. And I made a post one day. I didn't go into detail with it, but I made a post one day that anything that we have to get over, we release it more than once. We release it on the level that we elevate to. Because you can't simply release something emotional and think it's going to be gone forever, because it's still going to affect you to some degree. So if you have something major that happened to you and you want to move on from it, think about it like this. You know how people like to say there's levels to this? It's levels to this. Seriously. So something happened to you. The first level that you have to achieve is identifying, that it's affecting you. And once you've given yourself the opportunity to really take in that it's affected you, you have to deal with that. Okay, once you've dealt with that, then you elevate a little bit. But once you elevate a little bit to this new level, it's like, okay, I'm here now. I got to get to the next level. To some degree, on this level, that same situation is still affecting you. So you have to acknowledge at that level what of that situation is still affecting you that you have to let go of.
Yes.
And once you identify that and you let go of that, then you elevate to the next level. So it's still the same situation, but it's just different parts of it that you're letting go in order to get to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
And we never emotionally get over it. We get to the point where we allow ourselves to think about it and it not affect us like it did years ago or like it did when we were on a lower level of this healing evolution.
Mm-hmm.
So we never completely let anything go. We just learn how to deal with it differently. We learn how to not affect us and how we treat others. We allow it to not affect our thinking. We allow it to not affect our actions towards other people and towards ourselves. We allow it to not cause us to be inactive. So Tate, I hope that answered your questions. What answered that question? We deal with it better because we are strong, or are you truly over it? Um, do you ever truly get over an ex? You still think about it, right? But even though you might still think about it, you don't feel the same. You don't let what happened affect you the same. Same idea. You don't never truly get over it. You just learn to deal with it in a way that's more positively affecting you. It's more conducive to being positive motivation instead of negative. Now, and I know Allison has to get to her movie soon. Of course, we're going to touch real quick on how this affects our personal relationships, our intimate relationships, and our professional relationships.
Yes.
With our personal relationships, we kind of touched on it already. When it comes to your friendships, and your family, um, protect your energy. You know those people that you go around, and it's always something, or whatever the case is. Just make sure that you have your white aura around you when you go in those particular situations so you don't absorb their energy. Or either, if you know they're going to be negative, stay positive. You know, it's just that simple. It's same thing with people that have kids. They want to throw tantrums, and I commend parents on that. If you can let your kids just be over there kicking and whatnot and screaming, and you just like, okay, wait till we get home, because you over there chill, you over there cool. Like, oh, I'm not worried about this. You embarrassing yourself. You're not embarrassing me. That I'm
Yes.
gonna tell you what, such and such, this and this and that, and bet it
Mm-hmm.
won't happen again.
Yep.
So it's kind of the same way. You just learn to. I don't want to use the word tolerance, but
Mm-hmm.
that's what it is. If you're able to build up this thing to protect you, or build up this wall to protect you from being able to absorb this negative energy from your family members, from your kids, from your spouse. Sometimes we got to tune them out too. Do what you got to do for you so that you can do what you got to do for everybody else. No, where you clown is where you get beat down.
Lord.
Now, you know, you know what? I'm not even gonna go there because society ain't right now. Yes, when I was younger, if I wanted to act crazy in the store, I got beat in the store. You really can't do that right now. So I'm just gonna leave that at that. Um, Allison, anything that you want to say about the personal relationships?
The biggest thing for me, I want to emphasize related to family. I have family that I don't see nearly enough. I love them very much. And the times that I do get to spend with them, even if it's been years, I always walk away feeling better. I have
Mm-hmm.
family that I haven't seen, and I'm in no rush to see them ever, ever again. And so the reason I want to bring that up is one of the things that my biggest platform is on relationships, not just romantic, but everything, because I know that any type of relationship has the ability to change you, change your path, and all that. And so the only thing that I want to reiterate in this part is you don't have to prove anything by continuing to hang around toxic people.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. It them having your blood type, your last name, or whatever, that does not mean that they are the exception to the rule. And I just want people to start to understand that if you have family members, and I'm serious, even if it's your mama, even if it's your daddy, even if it's a sibling, if they are toxic, you are not obligated to stick around and deal with them. If you have talked to them about it, they have decided that the way they want to be is the way they're going to be, and you know how it affects you, there is absolutely nothing wrong with deciding that you are going to love them over there. That's all I wanted to say.
Over there. Okay, so with these intimate relationships, the main thing that I wanted to touch on, and trust me, this can be a whole topic in itself,
Yes.
are intimate relationships. Ladies, when we are choosing, and even men, when you are choosing these individuals to sleep with, be mindful of the type of energy that they carry. Be mindful of the type of energy that they possess, because none of us never think of sex as being an energy exchange, which that's what it is. So when you have all these different energies that you've slept with, and then your mate has all these different energies that they've slept with, and neither one of y'all has ever cleansed that,
Mm-hmm.
and y'all get together, y'all just mixing up all these feelings and these emotions, and then wondering why you getting caught up and all this other kind of stuff, because essentially you're dealing with stuff that doesn't even belong to you. Please understand that these encounters are more than just physical. They is energy that's being exchanged, and you have to be conscious of the type of energy that you allow into you and that you release to them, because no, I'm not even gonna go there with that. I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave that there, because I could really go off into something else, but we ain't got time for that today. But be mindful of the type of energy that you're selecting to be intimate with. Don't look. I mean, of course, you want to be attracted to this person and all this good, all this other kind of stuff, but make sure that one other qualifying thing that you look at is what type of energy they possess. Do I really want to sleep with this energy? Not this man and not this woman, but do I want to sleep with this energy?
Mm-hmm. That's really good.
That's all I got to say about that one.
That's really good. The only thing I'm going to add is the intimate relationships are not also just in the bedroom. Um, while we also talk about the fact that you have to be responsible for your energy, this is where we also talk about the foundation of knowing your energy. Be aware of what happens to your energy when they're around, and you don't have to. They
Yeah.
don't have to take off their clothes for you to feel that. Be aware of your energy when they're around. If your energy seems to rise and get lighter, then that's probably a sign that you're in a healthy situation. But if you find
Right.
that your energy gets heavy or low, you find yourself criticizing yourself more, putting yourself down more, whatever it is, that's also a sign that you may not necessarily be in a situation that is flowing correctly or like it should for things to even get into the bedroom. So that's all I wanted to add there.
Okay. Enough said, point taken. And these business and professional relationships.
Mm,
You go to work, do your job, and go home.
yes,
That's all I'm really going to say about that.
yes.
Go to work, do what you're supposed to do, and go home. Because first of all, you probably already don't want to be there.
Right.
So Ruby D has pissed off a lot of senior divas for stealing whatever day. Anyway, like I was
Okay.
saying, go to work, do your job, and go home. Because especially if you're at a job that you don't like, you already going in the door with an attitude.
Yes.
Don't allow somebody else to make it any worse than it has to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because you already don't want to be there. You already got an attitude. You probably ready to give out some slaps anyway. You got to protect your energy at work. And I mean,
Yes.
at least if it's just if you if you only planning on being there temporarily and
Mm-hmm.
it's just the means to you moving on to your business or focusing on your business full time, don't let them people mess up your energy. They're only in your life for, compared to your whole lifetime, not even long at all.
Yep.
Go to work, make your money, do your thing, go home and do what you got to do. That's all I got.
Well, the only thing I'm going to add is if you are in a situation, it's one thing to be at a job that's inconveniencing you. You just think your boss is a jerk or the people that you work with are too gossipy. Just do what the heck you're supposed to do because they didn't hire you and keep it moving. But again, this is where you watch your energy. If you find that your energy is causing other things, like you can't leave the job at work, you still come home cranky, you still come home irritable, you are sick more than normal. These are some of the things that have happened to me recently. There comes a time where you have to remember, if you die tomorrow, they will replace you the next day. Your job
Sooner
will
than
be
that.
okay. Your job will be back on Indeed, back on Monster, back wherever the minute you go. When it starts to affect your health, it's time for you to go. Regardless of what that means, regardless of what sacrifices that you've got to go, because at the end of the day, if you can't take care of you and your family just with health, you're in the wrong profession. Not if it's bringing you to that level.
Right. And I'm going to put this in there. Balance and chakras. Y'all better get with the program. I'm telling y'all don't realize y'all walking around here with this bad energy, with these bad emotions and this bad attitude and all this bad stuff because you don't know how to control it. You
I
don't know
love
how to
it.
find the good and the bad.
I love it.
And then you wonder why you sick. You wondering why you always having headaches. Because I
Mm-hmm.
was at that point. Yes. The I used to work for a huge company. I ain't gonna say no names, but I would never work for that company ever, 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 ever again in my life. But that job was not healthy for me. It was not healthy for my energy levels. And I was so glad when they let me go. I about skipped out that front door. When I walked out that front door, the sun got brighter, the birds were chirping even louder, the sky was so blue, I don't even ever remember it being that blue. It was just like I walked out and it's like, when did this happen? Yes. Don't let them, these jobs ain't loyal. I'm telling y'all. Don't let these jobs mess up your
I'm
energy and your life.
disconnected.
But y'all, that's our topic for today. And next week, um, I don't know what we're gonna talk about next week. What's on my list? Mm, Allison, what should we talk about next week?
Let's see, balance and energy. You know, I'm really big on relationship stuff. I'd be fine if we just
Ah,
discuss energy from a relationship perspective.
look, for you to say something like that, I was looking at my list, and on my list it said personal problems versus relationship problems. And I'm like, you know what? Let me ask Allison. And here you come. Well, relationships. Well, I guess that's what our topic's gonna be for next week.
Works for
Personal
me.
problems versus relationship problems.
Works for me.
And We really thank you all for watching and tuning in. We
Yes.
hope that this Sunday's installment of Soul Sunday helped you to some degree, whether it made you laugh, feel better, you got a little bit of understanding, or whatever it was. Thank you,
Yes.
Tyrus. Feel free to share, comment, click on the little button so that when we go live next Sunday,
Yep.
y'all will get the notification.
Yep.
But you know what? I had to send out my book. I don't have my book to, throw it all up in the screen. But make sure you all go buy my book, The Goddess
Yes.
Grind.
Yes.
Like I said earlier, the second installment, I don't know. I'll see if I'm gonna launch it early or not. But you can find me online, www.thegoddessgrind.com. Um, on Instagram at Ruby the Artistry, and yeah, here on Facebook. Allison?
This is Allison. You can find me on Facebook under Allison Denise. You can find me also under Be Still and Move for the public page. Be Still and Move with the exclamation point is our closed group. I am the newest member of the Bad Squad, which you can tune in and listen to every Friday from 9 to 11 on Fishbowl Radio Network. Download the app, both on Android and iPhone. And please stay tuned. Coming up in spring 2018, you can hear from me 1 full hour, just Allison, as we talk about different topics related to life and love on my official podcast. So stay tuned for that.
Yay! Get it, mama. Look at you just had I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and then I'm doing this and then I'm doing that too. And then y'all catch me here and I'm gonna do this and this and that. Girl, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Likewise.
Tay, like I told Tay, when I be calling in to the Bad Squad every episode, don't get mad. Don't be trying to block me either.
I know, right?
We really appreciate you all for tuning in. This is 2 months now that we've had Soul Sunday, and we're just gonna keep going with it. So
yes,
I got nothing else to say. You got anything else, Allison?
I thank you guys for tuning in. We love you, and we'll see you next week.
All right, peace. Okay, if I could just disconnect it. Finish.